Hello and welcome to Canvas. The purpose of this video is just to give you a brief overview of Canvas. So if you want to get started this summer doing some work, you won't be able to work in your actual courses because Canvas will sync with Aries, and until Aries rolls over for the new school year, Canvas just won't be populated with your courses. But I'll show you how you can get around a little bit. First of all, what is Canvas if you've never seen it? Canvas is a learning management system. It's got a gradebook in there, and it also is a way, almost think about like, this is very simplified, but almost think about Google Classroom with a gradebook. It's much more powerful than Google Classroom. Some people prefer Google Classroom because it's very simple comparatively, but Canvas is actually pretty powerful. It can be a little clunky because it's almost too powerful sometimes, but you can make Canvas as simple or as complicated as you want to make it. So it's as fancy as you want to make it for your classes. When you first log into Canvas, which you do that by going to this website, cuhsd.instructure.com, log in with your school Google account, and you'll see your dashboard. Now my dashboard already has some stuff in it. These are published courses. Every club has their own course, so these are clubs that I have been advisor for, but we also have unpublished classes down here, and basically published courses are things that students can join, or unpublished courses are things that only you can see. As far as your actual classes go, like I said, the classes will actually be created when they sync with Aries, and the students will automatically be added. You won't have to do anything. In fact, parents are also automatically added. So you don't have to do a thing as far as your classes go. Just a few little things getting around. So right here you can see my account picture. If you want to edit this at all, you can click on account. There's a couple useful things here actually. If you click on notifications, then take a look at all of these options you have for notifications. This is where I was talking about Canvas can be a little overwhelming because it can so many options. You can choose to be notified by email or a push notification if you have if you have the app installed on your phone, or if your computer also takes push notifications. You have all these different options. I'm not going to tell you what to choose here. I will say that sometimes Canvas, the emails can get a little much and the notifications can be a little much. I would say, honestly, leave it as is. Leave it to the default. But if you are finding like, oh my gosh, I don't want all these notifications, you can go in here and modify them. But I would wait. I would wait and see how Canvas is for you. If you click over here on profile, very simple profile. You can add your profile if you want. I've never done that, but if you want to edit your pronouns, if you click on edit profile and manage registered services, not the most obvious thing. I can see pronouns right here. I have to edit settings and then I can choose it. This is where Canvas can be clunky. Once you've done that, go ahead and update settings. By the way, one thing that's very easy to do with Canvas, you go into a window and you're like, okay, this is all there is. Always look at scrolling. There's often options off the screen. Now for these options, web services and all of this, I wouldn't change this, I would leave it. But whenever you're navigating to something in Canvas, always look around. There's a lot of options. So again, for what I just did, if you go to profile, edit, manage registered services, and edit again, and you can get here. Can't change your name. That's again synced with Aries, but you can change your pronouns. All right, so that's all I wanted to show you over here. Let us go to dashboard again. Let's say that you want to play around a little bit. So you can create like a shell class. That's a term that Canvas uses. You can call it a sandbox. You can call it whatever you want. But if you want to just create a class, a course that you create all your structure in, and then once Aries populates and you have classes, actual classes in Canvas, you can copy everything over. So I am going to go to start a new course. Let's just call this Sandbox and create. And now I am in the sandbox, and it automatically defaults to the modules. So I'm going to show you a course that I've already created, just so you can get an idea of what this can look like. Now, Canvas has a whole bunch of stuff for you. Oops, this class doesn't have anything. We'll use this one. All right. Now, Canvas, like I said, can be as fancy or unfancy as you want. You can create a home page, something like this, if you want to. But honestly, this was created the year that we were in distance learning, so it helped to have a home page to let everybody know. Also, Canvas was new to everybody that year, so so this was just kind of giving them the orientation. You can see my homepage is still very simple. Honestly, what I do now is I make my homepage go right into modules. Modules is kind of the heart of Canvas. You can make modules however you want. Some people, I like to personally, I make most of my modules be unit based. Some people make a module for each week. Some people make modules for categories or topics or things like that. These are just a way of organizing your class, but they are going to be the heart of your class. And then from there, you can kind of go crazy if you want to. Each one of these is a module. Link to class notes, this is a module. I only have one thing in here, but I want to make sure this is always on top. Review materials and exam info, this was an AP class, so this was all the stuff getting ready for the upcoming AP exam. I can collapse this module if I don't want to look at it. Now you can see I did have something here for the week. Because this wasn't really a unit, this was our last week getting ready for review for the AP exam. But now you can see I'm in my units. So here's a unit, here's a unit, and you can change the order of the units if you want to. Yeah, I can't really do that now because this is not an actual class anymore. It's ended. But if it was an active class, I actually would be able to click and drag and move these modules up and down if I wanted to. So how do we get started with modules? So the first thing you're going to want to do actually is think about your class and how you want to organize it. What's going to make most sense? Is your class more of a week by week class? Is it unit by unit? Is it categories? Types of assignments, that kind of thing. How do you want to organize your class? And that's totally up to you. Like I said, I like to have a unit. You can see I had the test was in here. Here's some review materials. Here are the actual assignments I gave for that unit. And I just kind of had my units organized that way. Notice also these things right here, these headers, these are text headers. They don't do anything except organize your unit, your module. And then I have these items here. You can upload a file if you want. You can create a quiz, which would be an assessment that Canvas will automatically grade for you. This was another file that I uploaded. You can create, these are assignments right here. So you can create assignments, you can create links to YouTube videos, to Google Docs. There's integration with some outside software like IXL or Nearpod, things like that. You can actually link to those things and integrate it into Canvas. All of that stuff will be covered in another training. This is just your basic getting started with modules. So this is kind of an example of what you can do. So how do we actually do it? I'm going to go back to my dashboard, to that sandbox. Now you can have published courses, you can see right here. The sandbox isn't published, so this is under unpublished and it's right here. So I'm just going to click on it. And here I am in the sandbox. So I'm going to go over here to modules, and I can, for my very first module, I can just click this icon. This icon will disappear as soon as I create a module. Any other modules after that, or the first module, you can click over here to add module. And we'll just call this Unit 1. And there we go. I have a module. It's very exciting. Again, I can put files here. This also will disappear as soon as I put my first thing into the module. So I can click on this plus sign to add stuff into my module. I'm going to make a text header, and let's call this Unit 1 Assignments. And I'm not going to indent this. And there it is. I can click on Add. Now let's add an actual assignment. Create assignment, homework 1A. This I do want to indent. Add item. So you can see I have homework 1A. It's indented below assignments, so it's kind of a nice way of keeping things organized. Now for this assignment, I'm a math teacher, so for me, my assignments are usually done on paper. I want my students to do the math on paper with pencil. So there's nothing really to turn in. I'm just going to click on this so you can see. I'm going to go to Edit. So I can say page 32, 1 through 10, let's just say. So I can give my students whatever directions here. I can format the text how I want to. I can add some links to other tools. I can say how many points it's going to be worth. I can give it a category, although I haven't created groups yet. So if I do want to create assignment groups, are also known as categories. You may have used a gradebook previously. You can choose if you want it to be displayed as points, percentages, things like that. If you want them to be able to upload something as part of the assignment, you can do that. And don't worry about this button. For us, this button basically does nothing. And then you can assign something to an individual student. I'm just going to click on Add. Maybe when you actually have a class, you'll see your students listed here. So maybe you have one particular student with extended time. You want to give that student a different due date. You can say assign to, choose that student, and give them different dates. The only date you have to fill in here is due date, and the due date has to be inside a grading period in order for it to appear in your gradebook. So if I just say August 31st, and I have to move my image out of the way, save. Oh, let me get rid of this. And there we go. And because I've created an assignment, when I go to grades, I can see homework 1A is in there. That's how you populate your gradebook. Gradebook is a totally different thing. We'll get into that. Let me go back here to modules. The last thing for this video is just, I want to show you the student view. So if at any point you want to see what it looks like for students, you can click here. But notice I don't see the module that I just created. I don't even see modules over here. Well, that's an easy fix, but it's easy to forget too. If I go over here to modules, I have to publish it. That's what these little boxes are for. Now, one of the biggest mistakes people will make is they'll think they've got everything in their module published, but notice modules, it still says it's not showing anything because there's no content, not visible to students, because you haven't clicked this one. If you don't click this, this button here at the top, it's not going to show. But now it will show to students, and if I go ahead and click Student View, I can see it in there. So this is just a quick overview, let you just give you enough to start playing around with Canvas, but we'll do some more later, and as we get closer to the school year and we have actual courses and things to play with. All right, have fun. Bye.